The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Pairin Srisom. Chapter 4. Tom is ill. Monday morning found Tom Sawyer miserable. Monday morning always found him so, because it began another week's slow suffering in school. Tom lay in bed thinking. He wishes that he was ill. Then he vowed stay away from school. He thought that he could detect signs of malicious chair, and began to integrate them with considerable hope, but that soon grew fat and died away. He considered further. Steadily he discovered something. One of his abilities was lost. This was lucky. He was about the growth when it occurred to him that if he said so his aunt would pull it out, and that would hurt. Then he remembered hearing the doctor speak about a patient who had spent 2 or 3 weeks in bed and who had nearly lost a finger through blood poisoning. So the boy angrily drew his throat toe from under the seat and held it up for inspection. Then he began groaning loudly. But Sis stepped on, unconscious. Tom granted louder, and confessed that he began to feel pain in the toe. There was no resource from Sid. By this time, Tom was breathing heavily with his efforts. He had a rest and then swelled himself up and produced one admirable dance after another. Sis left on. Tom was ineffective. He called, "Sit, sit," and shook him. This worked well, and Tom began to grow again. Sis turned, stressed, and then began the star attempt. Tom went to groaning. "Tom, I say, Tom," said Sid. There was no reply. "Here, Tom! Tom! What's the matter, Tom?" Sid shook him and looked in his face, as if sorry. "Oh, don't sit. Don't shake me," Tom moaned. "Why, what's the matter, Tom?" "I must call Auntie." "No, never mind. It will be over soon, perhaps." "Don't call anybody." "But I must." "Don't glow so, Tom. It is awful. How long have you been like this?" "How's oh, oh, don't shake me, sis. I will kill me." "Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner?" "Oh, Tom, don't. It makes me feel queer to hear you. What's the matter, Tom?" "I forgive you everything, sis, girl, everything you have ever done to me. When I die—" "Oh, Tom, you are not dying, are you?" "Don't, Tom. Oh, don't, perhaps." "I forgive everybody," said girl. "Tell them so, and sis give my window frame and my cat with one eye to that new girl who has come to town, and tell her." But sis had snatched up his clothes and gone. So well was Tom's imagination working that he was really suffering now. His groan had quite a genuine tone. Sis felt downstairs. "Oh, Aunt Polly, come! Tom is dying!" he cried. "Dying?" "Yes, don't wait. Come quickly." "Raspis, I don't believe it." But she rushes upstairs in a spirit of her disbelief, with Sis and Mary at here, and her face grew white too, and her lips trembled. When she raised the bed, she cried out, "Tom, what is the matter with you?" "Oh, Auntie mine, what's the matter with you? What is the matter with you?" cried. "Oh, Auntie, my big toe died." The old lady sank down into a chair and laughed a little, then cried a little, then this both together. This helped her to recover, and she said, "Tom, what's the soap you did give me? Now stop that nonsense and get off of bed." The glow crashes and the pain vanished from the two. The boy felt a little faint, and he said, "Aunt Polly, its eye seemed to be dead, and it hurt so much that I did not feel the pain in my tooth at all." "Your tooth? What is the matter with your tooth?" "One of them is loose, and it shakes awfully." "There, dear, don't begin. That's growing again. Open your mouth, though your tooth is bruised. But you are not going to die of that. Mary, get me a silk thread and a red-hot coal from the kitchen. Please, Auntie, don't pull it out. It don't hurt any more. Please, Auntie, I don't want to stay away from school." "Oh, you don't you? So all this hurrying was because you thought you would manage to stay away from school and go finish it. Tom, Tom, I love you so, and you seem to try every way you can to break my own heart with your tricks." By this time, the instruments were ready. The old lady made one end of the silk thread fast to Tom's tooth, and tied the other to the bedpost. Then she sighted the burning coal and suddenly thrust it almost in the boy's face. The tooth hung from the bedpost now, but all suffering had their rewards. As Tom was going to school after breakfast, he was the envy of every boy he met, because the gap in his upper row of teeth enabled him to speak in a new and admirable way. Soon afterwards, Tom met the young outcast of the village, Huckleberry Finn, the son of the town drunkard. Huckleberry was hated and died by all the mouths of town, because he was idle, lawless, ill-bred, and bad, and because all their children admired him, derided in his forbidden society, and wished they dared to be like him, like the rest of the respectable boys. Tom envied Huckleberry his great gift of freedom, and had been given strict orders not to play with him. So he played with him every time he got a chance. Huckleberry was always dressed like a sparrow. He came and went of his own free will. He slept on doorsteps, in fine water, and in empty barrels in bed. He did not have to go to school or to class, or call anyone master, or obey anybody. He could go fishing or swimming when where he chose, and stay as long as it suited him. Nobody forbade him to fight. He could sit up as late as he pleased. He was always the first boy walk barefoot in the spring, and the last to wear shoes again in the autumn. He never had to wash or put on clean clothes. He could swear wonderfully in a word. That boy has everything that helps to make life difficult. So do every respectable boy in St. Petersburg.
"Hello, Huckleberry. What's that you have got?" asked Tom. "Hello, dead cat. Let me see it, Huck. How stiff it is. What's a dead cat good for, Huck?" "For carrying what? But how do you call them? Why do you take the cat about midnight, the graveyard, where somebody that's what wife has been buried? When it is midnight, a devil will come, or perhaps two or three, but you cannot see them. You can only hear something like the wind, or perhaps hear them talking. When they are talking, that wick follow away. You throw your cat after them and say, 'Devil follow body, cat follow devil, was follow cat.' I have finished with you. That will cure anyone. It sounds all night. Have you ever tried it, Huck?" "No, but old mother, coping, told me." "Well, that's good enough because they say she is a witch. Huck, when are you going to try the cat?" "Tonight. I believe they will come after old Half Williams tonight." "But he was buried on Saturday, Huck. Didn't they get him on Saturday night?" "Why, how you talk! How could they come walk before midnight? And then it is Sunday. Devil don't keep about much on the Sunday, as far as I know. I never thought of that. That's so. Will you let me go with you?" "Of course, if you are not afraid." "Afraid? Not likely." "Will you meow like a cat?" "Yes, and you meow back if you get a chance. The last time you kept me meowing outside the house too on." He began throwing things at me and saying, "Crush that cat." So I threw a brick through his window. But don't tell. I won't. I could meow that night because Auntie was watching me, but I will meow this time.
The boys spent parade. When Tom ran the return school, he marched boldly in as if he had come as far as to could. The teacher was nodding amid the hum of study. The interruption roused him. "Thomas Sawyer!" Tom knew that when his name was pronounced in full it meant trouble. "Sir, come here. Now why are you late again?" "As usual." Tom was about to laugh when he saw two long tails of yellow hair hanging down from a head that he recognized and by that head was the only uncle sent on the girls' side of the school. He intently said, "I stopped to walk with Huckleberry Finn." The teacher stared at him as if he could not believe his ears. The hum of study crashes. The public's wondrous water his boy had gone mad. The teacher said, You did what? I stopped to talk with Huckleberry Finn." The boy's words were quiet, distinct, and could not be misunderstood. "Tom Sawyer, this is most uncharming concession I have ever written to. You deserve and serve punishment. Take off your coat." The stick rose and fell until the teacher's arm was dry. Then the other followed. "Now, sir, go and sit with the girls, and let this be a warning to you." When all the public laughed, Tom seemed to look upset, but in reality that look was caused by his worship of unknown angel and by his amazement at his luck. He sat down up on the end of the bench, and the girl proudly moved away from him. Tom sat still and seemed to study his book. Soon the other children ceased to pay any attention to him, and the accustomed school murmur rose up on the air once more. Presently the boy began to steal glances at the girl. She observed him, pulled a face at him, and turned the back of her head to him for a minute. When she cautiously looked round again, he was drawing something at the back of his book, heading his work with his left hand. For some time the girl referred to nothing, but at last she hesitatingly whispered, "Let me see it." Tom uncovered a vague drawing of house, with a cloud of smoke coming from the chimney. Then he added a man light a mast in the front yard. The girl said, "I wish I could draw." "It's easy," whispered Tom. "I will teach you." "Oh, will you? When?" "At dinner time." "Good, that's a promise. What is your name?" "Becky Thatcher." "What is yours?" "Oh, I know. It's Thomas Sawyer." "That's the name they use when they beat me. I'm Tom when I'm good. Call me Tom, will you?" "Yes." Just at this moment a finger and thumb caught on his ear and raised him to his feet. He was led across the schoolroom and sat down in his own seat, amid the rabble of the whole school. Then the teacher stood over him during a few awful moments, and finally moved away to his chair without saying a word. But although Tom is here burned, his heart was sinking.